Hey folks, it snowed this morning, so I want to take my drone up and get a picture of the snow, but mostly I wanted to record the trails because the trails now, the snow didn't stick to the trails mostly. So the trails are nice and contrasty against the snow. You can see the trails where they are. So I've flown the drone up above the trees here. I'm trying to figure out where the safest spot to be is. I think I need to go a little bit higher. So I do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to point the camera down, which there's me sitting. The drone's right above me. I'm sitting at that table there. That's a glass table, and I've got part of the glass cleared off because that's where I'm going to land. The drone is on top of that glass table. That's where I took off from. So now I'm going to find where I start the trail normally. When I hike this thing, and I'm just going to go on the same route that I take when I hike, and I'm going to kind of narrate what I'm looking at or what you're looking at too. So there's the road that starts off the driveway and goes down the hill here. There's a Y there, and I'm going to go to the right. We call this the upper road, and so this goes down the hill, and when there's the fire pit and the fire and everything right there. But this is called the crossroads right here, right? You're looking at the crossroads. So I'm going to go down this little small trail, which is really just a bench trail on the side of the hill. And so I'm going down here, and then this is another downhill section right there till I get to this curve, and then it's flat. And it's a good picture of the bridge here. That bridge is made out of cross ties, and it goes across the creek. So now the trail splits and goes either left or right, and I'm going to take the left trail, which follows the creek. So the three lines you see kind of parallel to where we're going here are the trail on the left and the creek, and then the trail on the right. The trail on the right is on the other side of the creek from the house. So this trail on the right is what I'm walking on to begin with. And so I get to see the creek all along the way. And then there's a right turn here. Now that's the falls. I call that the falls. The creek has a big drop right there, so it's got a bunch of big boulders in there. You can't see them in this drone view here, but we're going uphill now. So this is going up to the first ridge. This Y right here is at the first ridge, and if you turn right there, you'll be going down that first ridge. Now we're keeping on. We're going up the hill. And we're going to go to the second ridge. So once we get up here around this curve, we'll be on top of the ridge. So now we're on top of the ridge, and we're walking down this trail, and it takes a right turn, and so we're going to go back down the ridge hill. Now you see the telephone lines right there on the left, and we're going downhill now, and so when we get to the bottom of this hill, right there, kind of in the middle of the screen right there, that's the bottom. There's a creek there. It's not actually not a creek. It's a drainage right there. So now we're going back up the hill. And this crossroads right here goes back down to the bridge if you go straight. And it goes, but we're going to go to the right. So we're going to go up this first ridge. So the first ridge, this is kind of where I start the first ridge. So we're going uphill now. Actually, we're crossing over. You can see my telephone lines right down there to the left there, that clearing. But we're going up the trail in the woods, going this, we're at the top. I mean, this is on the ridge. So we get up to this cross section here again, this Y, and we're going to turn back down. Now, we've already seen this cross section once. We walked up past it. So now we're going back down in the opposite direction of where we came. So now this takes us back down to the waterfall there. And this is next to the creek. So we're going to go back the reverse direction on this trail. And what I end up doing is doing a figure eight with these two loops. And I'll walk one way around the figure eight, and I'll walk the other way around the figure eight. And then that makes up for about 20 to 25 minutes or so. And then I do some other walking. Now I've gone a little bit too far. That's the creek below us, and the telephone lines. So I back up a little bit. There's the bridge. Good view of the bridge there. You can see the snow on top of it. It's now, I make a left turn to go back up this hill. And so now we're walking back up the hill. We haven't been on this part of the trail yet, so now we're going back up to the hill. Right here is where we took the turn to go up that first ridge after that first loop. So now we're going downhill. That was the ridge. That was the first ridge. Now we're going downhill, and then right there is the bottom of that hill. And now we're going back uphill, and we make a turn back to the left. And this is now we're on the second ridge, and so it's winding road, so to speak. Here, I love walking these trails because it's just you're in the woods, and it's beautiful, the different seasons of the year and so forth. I can't do it much in the summertime. Now here's the Y that goes down that first ridge, and if we'd gone straight there, that would have taken us back where we've already been, down to the waterfall and next to the creek. So we're going the opposite direction now. And we're about 150 feet above the ground level here. So now we're at the end of this. Now we're right over the telephone wire, or the power line that goes to our house, that runs behind our house, really. So now we're going downhill again, and now we're going to go across the bridge and connect up with the trail that we came from the left there. Now we're going to keep going up next to the creek and make this looping turn here, which is very steep climb up here. So we get up to the very top here, and this is the field. It's actually a septic field, but it's got a lot of grass and so forth growing on it. And we walk around. I walk around the end of this field, and then I start walking back up the field, and this is uphill towards the house. And then I go through that trail, and now we're back on the road going back that runs close to the house. But we're going to go straight on the road. The crossroads there, we're making the X now. So this is what we see below us now is that there's a hill here going up to the gravel pit. There's a gravel pit right there that I store my gravel in. And then I usually walk across the yard. That's why I'm going this way. I walk up to this corner of the property. You can see the fence from the next door neighbor going right at the bottom of the screen right there. And there's the cove. And so I walk around these trees next to the road here, and cross back through the trees and go back to the ending point, which is the driveway. That's the starting point and the ending point where I finish my hike. And so all told, that will take me right at 28, 29 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, depending upon how my legs are doing and so forth. But it gives me full credit for 30 minutes of exercise when I do it like that. And so now we're going up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to 400 feet, which is the maximum height of this drone. And this will give us a nice overview of all the trails here. So you can see all the trails. You can see the crossroads there. You can see the creek and the trail on the house side of the creek, and the trail on the other side of the creek. Right there, and then the bridge down there on the right-hand side of the screen going across the creek. And now you see this is going to give us a good view of these two ridges. So the bottom trail right there going up towards the left and up over to the next crossroads, and all around there, that's the second ridge right there. So there's two ridges, and that circle right there goes around goes across one ridge and around to the other ridge. And so now we're going back down towards the waterfall here, and you can see where it's right below the screen right here. That's the next door neighbor's house right there. And then so here comes our house, and you can see me on the deck down there. That little black spot behind the table is me. And so now I'm going to land the drone and be done with that. So I'm trying to get lined up with the table here, the end of the table. I've got to get it dead center of the of the drone's view of this thing before I can do this, because there's only a very narrow space between the trees that I don't have to worry about running into the branches as I'm coming down. So if I can get, it's not quite centered yet, but it will be. So see, I'm backing it up to try to get that table in the center of the screen. I'm not quite there yet. Got to go forward a little bit. And when I get down there, I'll have to go right a little bit as well. So we're going down. And this is actually a pretty windy day. So the drone's been fighting the wind, but you really couldn't tell it. I can hear the drone most of this off in the distance and close by when it's kind of, I can hear the motor revving up and slowing down and so forth as it's trying to maintain its steadiness. And so we're getting down. So I'm going to land on that where I've wiped the snow off that glass tabletop. And you can see I'm not centered up in there anymore. So I'm going to move over to the right, and then we should be able to land on that table just right there. And that's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.